Hi, so this is going to be the my comic book haul review. Um, this time you'll have to bear with me as well. I'm really full of hay fever today, so I might be doing quite a bit today. So I've got 3 weeks worth of comics to review because on Monday I picked up 2 weeks worth, and then on Friday yesterday I picked up this week's. So I've got a lot. So there's must be at least about 40 comics to review. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to split it into 3 parts. So first part will be DC, then Image for the second part, and then for the third part, the rest. So that'll be Marvel and Indies, because I don't get many Marvel. So yes, we'll start with DC. And oh boy, so yeah, these are going to be long videos, even if it's going to be split into three. So please have patience. Let's get started. Okay, so yeah, it's DC. I've not split them into weeks. It's just a pile of comics now because there's so many. I'm just pleased to manage to finish them all for today. So the first up is Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, number 6 of 10. Really nice Tim Sale cover there. So this time is illustrated by Enrico Marini, who I think is an Italian artist. What I like about these comics, one, $4.99, but one, cardstock cover, two, no adverts, all it's full of back matter. So after the story's finished, you have an interview with the artist of each issue, and then they show you highlights of the artwork, and then they give you a sneak peek of what's coming next month. So this is continuing the story, and the art is really, really nice. It's what I like about each artist that they have. They're all poles apart from Tim Sale in style, but they've captured, in some weird way, they've captured his essence of how he did storytelling, and it really, really works. But the art in this is just lovely, and each one, even though they are so different, they have this like feel of how Tim Sale would do a Batman story. Maybe it's down to Dave Stewart doing the colouring, who knows? But yeah, really solid Batman tale. It's got all your favourites. It's got the classic ones: Killer Croc, Solomon Grundy, Two Face, Catwoman, you name it. Yeah, just great. It's a nice natural continuation of the Long Halloween franchise. Um, Jeff Loeb, hello Jeff Loeb. Jeff Loeb is in his wheelhouse doing this title. He does his best writing on this kind of franchise, and yeah, it's a solid 8 out of 10. And sticking with Jeff Loeb, we move on to Batman 158. So this is Batman Hush 2 or Hush Tour, as it's being touted on a lot of places. So this is Jeff Loeb, of course, teaming up with Jim Lee. So Jim Lee cover, and Scott Williams doing the inking. So it's the old original team from the Hush series. What was it now? 20 years ago. Good God. Yeah, really nice artwork. Introduces so Joker's in it, but he's not the main protagonist. He's one of the victims this time around. Talia al Ghul is in, and there's all different characters in it. Um, yeah, it's fun. It doesn't feel like a modern comic at all. It does feel like a comic from 20 years ago. But if you're of my generation, yeah, it gives me. This is a comfort read. This is not going to win, or if it does win an Eisner, it doesn't deserve to. It's just a good standard Batman story elevated with Jim Lee's artwork. But nowadays, I think there are artists, dare I say, who are better than Jim Lee. Back in the day, back in the 90s and early 2000s, he was the top. Now you've got new pretenders to the throne, all completely different in style to him, but ones who can actually churn out comics, not churn out, but produce comics on a much faster basis than he can. But it's great to see him not just doing covers, but doing interior. Yeah, it's not old Jim Lee, where everything was super detailed. Some of it does feel a bit bare bones compared to his old style, but it's still good. He's still got the chops, and the colouring really works perfectly. Colouring is by Alex Sinclair, like it was on the original Hush. And yeah, it's a great story. I do recommend picking it up. If not in the comic, wait for the collected edition. And yeah, 8 out of 10. And again, more Batman. Batman and Robin Year One. This is one of my great cover, by the way, by Chris Samney. So this is by Mark Waid and Chris Samney. This is issue 6. It's going to be 12 issues. This has some of my favourite Batman artwork in any comic of this year. This is just a delight. The story is perfect. This is my favourite Mark Waid comic. In fact, because I can feel the impending tariffs coming into play, because I just want to budget more. I want to get more graphic novels and not just get weekly comics. So I'm chopping some comics what I enjoy, but I've got the will I read it again thing in my head. So what I've stopped this week is Superman, World's Finest. What else did I stop? Justice League Unlimited, Rocket Fellas, because it's been 4 issues and it's not gone anywhere, and Hornsby and Halo. Again, I think I'm just not as big a Peter J. Tomasi fan as I am a Geoff Johns fan. I don't think they're good, but I want to get more from other companies as well. I actually want to get some Marvel. I know that's controversial for me to say, so I'm just stopping certain titles to try some new ones, but I'm not going to get rid of them. I'm just going to shelve them for the time being, and if I want to go back, then I can go back to them. But that is completely random, by the way. It's just for me to say that I've stopped 2 Mark Waid titles, but I'm not stopping this one. Mark Waid on Batman is brilliant. It's just genius. He does the best Dick Grayson Robin I've read in a long, long time. The artwork by Chris Samney is just a joy. It's just perfect. It's got this really nice retro yet modern flavour. It's the closest modern comics got to Batman animated kind of atmosphere. Yeah, 9 out of 10. Really, really good. And then another one that's one of the best Batman comics out there at the moment, Batman Detective Comics, pardon me, by Tom Taylor and Kyle Janin. Talk about beautiful artwork. These two, I didn't think anybody could replace Ram V on Detective. These two have shown that it can be done, and not aping Ram V at all, not trying to be a mini Ram V, but doing their own take on Batman. It's a much sleeker, almost like a future noir kind of story, if that makes sense. And the artwork is just gorgeous. Normally, Johnny, in the past few issues, he's been doing his colours and inks as well, but I think on this one, he's not. Yeah, so Noam Ratman's been inking 17 pages. Alex Gamaris has done colours on some of the pages. So yeah, but he's keeping up with a monthly schedule. It must be hard doing all that. But yeah, fantastic comic. Really good development of the story. Really quite, if you think about it, it's quite sinister. The plot where they get in this youth serum by basically siphoning off young people. It's kind of like a modern Cronenbergian twist on the vampire mythos. But yeah, I love it. 9 out of 10. Really, really good. And another one that's just up there for peak level, talk about Ram V, is New Gods, number 4. That cover is just gorgeous. So, as per usual, it's got it's got Evan Cagle as the regular artist in most of the story. And then it's got an opening sequence by a different artist, and this time it's Bernard Chang, who I love, who I've not seen in years. But he's so distinctive, very clean, very crisp, but with a not almost like a. He does have a Kirby element to it, so it's a perfect fit for this story. But then you get Evan Cagle, and my God, he's so good. He's one of the new talents to watch out for. I mean, look at that page. So this has really propelled the story along. I thought the chase between Mr. Miracle and Ryan would go on for at least another 3 issues, but they've met up again now, and so this must just be like the starter arc. So there's going to be a block of so the next arc now is this confrontation between the two of them. It's just wonderful. It's cosmic on a huge cosmic scale. The artwork is magnificent. It fits the flavour of the storyline. It's big, it's bombastic, it's biblical. 9 out of 10. DC at the moment have got the cream of the crop for a mainstream comic company in artists and writers. I'm trying to give love to Marvel, but the ones where it seems to be given the talent to Marvel is just the Star Wars titles, which I am now started to buy, and just a few scattered here and there. But it's not. You can't just go, oh, this whole universe is fantastic. You just can't. Not the same level. Talking about fantastic though, I don't know. Very poor segue. But anyway, Green Arrow number 22 by Chris Condon and Montos. Lovely cover as well. So this is Green Arrow back to his roots, where he's fighting the man. He's trying to save the environment. The art by Montos is really, really good. But the twist in this is that Green Arrow or Oliver unknowingly signed on the dotted line for these people who were basically pumping out all this toxic waste and basically killing people with poisoning. So he's kind of like wrestling with his demons while trying to chase these terrorists. But are they terrorists? Because they are basically just getting revenge for what's being done to them. And I love the this character here, this detective and her dog, just fantastic. I like how they've not leaned into Black Canary much with this. I think it's nice that they've just kind of stayed clear from the whole Arrow family and just made it more like the lone Archer again. It just felt flabby before, and I'm loving this. This is my kind of Green Arrow comic. I like Chris Condon. This is as close as we've had to a Mike Groh run, or I say since Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. But yeah, great. 9 out of 10. Talk about wonderful greats and good stuff. Again, tenuous segue. And this is Satana number 2. That cover is glorious. So basically everything. I love the credits. Campbell. That says it all. It's done by Jamar Campbell. He does. He's the writer, artist, cover artist. The only thing he doesn't do is the lettering. Everything else he does, and he does it so well. I didn't think he'd be any cop as a writer, but in this issue, I've grown to. I like his style. It's a fun, supernatural romp. It's not. There's no slow pacing. It's not a walkie-talkie. It keeps the flow and the action going, which is what you want from a story like this. It's not deep. It's not pretentious. It's just good, solid fun with really good twists. He's got a real good handle on Satana. Even if he doesn't do the art, I would love to see him carry on with Satana after the final 6th issue, because it's fun. Yeah, 9 out of 10. Really, really good. And we carry on with Green Lantern. Great cover. The art is by Jack Herbert. I kind of like the art and I don't, because he's very good. Don't get me wrong, but he's very different to I think it's Manco, who's the normal artist. Very different to a regular artist. But it's a solid story. Jeremy Adams he's won me over now. He's got a good voice for Green Lantern now. For how initially I thought he was doing him too much, a bit like an incel kind of jerk. But he's got the flow now. I think because he's introduced more characters now, he's got his balance, and it's good. I do get a buzz for when Green Lantern comes to Earth as well, because I think with Green Lantern you've got to have that balance of having cosmic adventures, but also bringing to Earth every so often. That's what he's doing with this, and it's moving along nicely. 8 out of 10. I'm just gonna pause because I've got a runny nose. Ooh. Okay, nose crisis averted. So now we're going to look at the 3 comics that I've stopped. And like I said, they're not bad by any means, but I was just thinking I'm getting too much of a theme or I don't get that much enjoyment. I know it sounds silly from ultra superpowered comics. I like a bit of humanity in it in the comics. That's why I like things like the JSA, because even though it's a team of superheroes, there's a level of humanness to it. So I'll stop to Justice League Unlimited. Artwork by Dan Mora is superb. Writer by Mark Waid is great. It's just too big screen for me. I know that's stupid. It's silly. Artwork's fantastic, but I like my Justice League to take a beat, not just always be boom, 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 next thing, like get bigger and bigger, bigger, bigger. They need to breathe every so often. I was raised on Justice League from the 80s with Detroit, and then later on with the Justice League International by DeMatteis and Giffen. And for me, this is just too much of a sensory overload. It's gorgeous, it really is. Maybe I might just get it in collector's edition, might just read better that way. I give it an 8 out of 10, but I am stopping it for the time being anyway. And the same for World's Finest. I got it to finish up the story. The story was good. The art's good. It's the artist who did Blue Beetle, Gutierrez. It's got one of my favourite characters guest starring in it, Aquaman and Swamp Thing. But I just read it and thought, I won't read it again. It's inconsequential, but it's a pretty book. It's a nice book. It's a fun book. If I wasn't getting as many titles as I was getting, I'd carry on with it. But for the time being, I'm just shelving it. I give it a 7 out of 10. And then Superman number 24. This is by different artists this time. Eddie Barrows, but Joshua Williamson writing. Gorgeous artwork. Really nice, solid artist. I do feel for these talented artists who just tend to be fill-in artists. It'd be nice to see them get an ongoing comic of their own. The reason I'm stopping, I'm stopping it now because there's going to be a Superman special. There's going to be a big chunky Superman 25. There's going to be Superman Unlimited, and then there's going to be actions restarting with Mark Waid. It's too much, and I've got a feeling there's going to be there's guaranteed to be crossovers because of the film being released, etc. They're going to milk it for all they can, and I just can't get into another universe that way. Oh, I've also trimmed down on my Batman. I've stopped Batman Robin, not year one, but the regular. Again, I'm just getting too much of the same. But it was a fun read. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. But yeah, this is where I part ways, rather than just spending $5.99 for the next issue. And next up is JSA. Seen as I was talking about. Love that cover by Cully Hamner. So this is by Jeff Lemire, and art is by. Did they go old school with this one? Art is by Diego Ortega with Joey Vasquez. Art is beautiful. It's got this really old school, like 80s kind of style. Very, very good. There's a great scene with the new Wildcat, what I don't want to ruin. And there's I don't know if you call it great, but there's a scene with the original Wildcat. And that's all I can say because this is a gut punch of a story. It's an emotional gut punch. This, for me, is the comic I look forward most to out of all my DC comics. This is the comic I read first when I get it. This gives me the same buzz I used to get back in the day when I used to read New Teen Titans by George Perez and Marv Wolfman. It's the perfect team book. Marvel should be taking notes. This is how you should do your X-Men comics. It's got action, it's got pathos, it's got emotional beats, it's got soap opera elements. You care for each character, and the villains are cool. The conflict's amazing, and it leaves it on a cliffhanger where you're gagging for the next episode. Oh, it's just wonderful. Yeah, it's a solid comic. I've enjoyed it from issue one, and it gets better with each issue, which you can't say for a lot of comics. And yeah, 9.5 out of 10. You should be buying this. Don't stress on this. You need to buy it, even if you don't know anything about JSA. And it doesn't matter if you want to read good superhero team book. This is the one. This is a lesson in how to do superhero teams. And we have one of my favorite characters come back by one of my favorite writers. It's a Black Label book, Resurrection Man, Quantum Karma. This is by Ramvi, and I don't want to butcher his name. Anand Arcade doing the artwork with Jackson Goose, who did the original Resurrection Man series back in the 90s and early 2000s, doing the frontispiece. Mike Spicer on colours, and Aditya Bidkar, who's one of the best letterers in the world, on lettering. So it gives you an intro to the world of Resurrection Man. This I'm going to sum this up. I know some people are going, what the fuck is going on with this comic? This, for me, is like this perfect blend of Eternal Warrior meets Doctor Who. So, pardon me, with this comic, he has this power where, however he dies, he gets a superpower from it. So, if he got engulfed in flames, his power, he'd come back, reborn, but as an adult with the powers of have a flame-like superhero power. So this issue opens with him dying of natural old age, and so when he comes back, he gets reborn. But his power is that he remembers every life he's lived, every single life, and he's lived a lot of lives. So it just like fucks his brain up. He's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And when he resurrects this time, he meets this mysterious stranger. At first, I thought, is that Destiny from the Sandman universe? But it turns out it's one of his parallel selves. I'll just show the artwork as well. The art is just gorgeous. Anand is just an amazing artist. It's like he can just read Ram V's mind. And what I like about this, they do a flashback segue to the 1940s when he's going by a different name and he's in this prisoner of war camp in Japan. And there's this Japanese leader, colonel, whatever he is, who's just like this ultimate cartoon kind of villain. He likes to celebrate victories by eating dirty meat, and by that he means one of the prisoners of war. He likes to get, eat them basically, get the liver, the heart, the kidneys, a nice hunk of thigh, bit of the bum, whatever, cook it up, have a casserole, and he invites his officers to eat it with him. So he's basically a human monster. And so they do it to Michael. If he's called Michael at this time, he's called Mitch in modern days. And they throw his body away, the remains of his body, into this pit, into this fiery pit. And that's kind of like the starting point for Resurrection Man's power. He comes back reborn and he devastates. I'm not going to say any more. You need to read it to find out what he devastates. But fair to say, I adore this comic. And again, okay, a brilliant comic was out this week. Daredevil something. Dead Reckoning, was it? I can't remember what it's called. It's the new one by Charles Ciol and Steve McNiven. It looked gorgeous to look through it. But it had, I think, about 30 story pages or 28 story pages and backup material. But it was just like floppy. $6.99. I'm not paying that for a comic like that. This is $4.99. Cardstock. You get 22, I think it is, story pages, but then the rest of it, the backup material, it's all in there. Sketches, artwork, no adverts, and it's only $4.99. And Ram V's a bigger name than Charles Soule. Where's the tax for this? Marvel, what are you doing? You're losing readers by overcharging on stuff what's unnecessary. So that's a rant, but I had to get a Marvel rant in this week because I'm going to be singing the praises of a few Marvel comics this week. That's a plug for my next episode. But yeah, gorgeous, great cover, great presentation. You get back matter in it, some gorgeous extra artwork. 9 out of 10, wonderful. Do yourself a favour, check that out. And now we have 6, count them, 6 absolute titles. So I will start with the ongoings, the ones that we've already seen. So first up is Absolute Superman issue 6. Love that cover. So this has a different art team this month. It's got Carmine Di Giudomonico as the artist and Ulysses Ariola as the colorist and Becky Carey as the letterer. Jason O'Din writing as normal. Artwork is beautiful. This is basically like a 2-issue stopgap between the next big story arc. That widescreen effect is great. Artwork, like I said, is top level on this. Perfect. If the regular artist ever did leave, it'd be a perfect replacement. But this finally brings back, that shows you this universe's version of the Kents and how Clark or Mon-El encounters them. But that's not all. It reveals the secret of Lazarus. What is Lazarus? I'm a dumbass. I should have worked out myself, but the reveal was fantastic. I went, what the fuck? I kind of like literally dropped the comic. Oh, of course. Um, but yeah, great reveal at the end. Great big bad. Wonderful comic. 9 out of 10. Absolutely loving Absolute Superman. Absolute. Yeah. Okay, Absolute Wonder Woman. Great cover. Um, again, this is a 2-issue briefer story. Issue 6. Kelly Thompson as per usual, but this time it has the art, pardon me, of Mattia De Ulias, who did the Cull with Kelly Thomas art for Image, which I read digitally, which was a solid comic. The collection's out now, and I do recommend you read it. Very different art style to Hayden, but still very good. They've got really nice style, very cinematic in style. It is digital art, but it's very good. It's digital art. It's perfect for this one because this is really heavily Greek mythology focused, and it's glorious. It's wonderful. Yeah, I'm still getting a buzz from Wonder Woman. This is everything that I wish Al Ewing would do with Immortal 4. That's why I've stopped that. It was just pretentious claptrap after the last few issues. So there we go. But there's a really good backup 2-page strip as well called Lil Diana with Justin Yuen on the artwork. Really fun. Just a really good comic again. Just carrying on. Yeah, I'd give this an 8.5 out of 10. And then we have wonderful cover. Issue 6 of Absolute Batman. Really gorgeous artwork, of course, because it's the regular artwork by Nick Dragata. Sorry, I had a brain fart then. I just love that splash page. So this is the coming out issue. Now, by coming out, I mean he comes out as Batman to his friends. I mean, who knows? He might be. You never know. But it's great, and it's great how each friend handles it. And there's a great final page which focuses on the Joker. I do like how they're just peppering little bits of the Joker, but they're not making him the be-all and end-all focus. And he's a sick fucker in this, much worse than the one in the regular DC universe. That's all I'll say. You need to read this for yourself. Yeah, fun, blast. It's big, dumb, big, dumb, action-packed fun, with great paneling, and it's got the best page of any comic this past few weeks, where he kicks a kid. It's great. I'm a parent, so I don't advocate kicking kids, but it's wonderful. But yeah, 9 out of 10. Wonderful comic. Now we come on to the new number ones. So we'll start with the one that came out first, and that was the Absolute Flash by Jeff Lemire and Nick Robles. I loved this comic. The artwork is dynamic. The writing is tight. It leaves you scratching your head a bit, but that's good because it's the opening salvo. It makes me want to uncover more of the mystery. I don't want to be spoon-fed. I like how they turn it on its head, where Wally West is the only Flash. Barry Allen is just a scientist, but he is implicit in Wally getting his powers. The Rogues Gallery has definitely had a facelift, but they are the same from the regular universe. Yeah, it's great, and I like how they made him a 15-year-old. So it's kind of, this is like almost like Marvel DC's version of 15-year-old Peter Parker. It's got that vibe. I would give this an 8 out of 10. It's worth checking out. It's a good solid first issue. Wow. This was a mindfuck in the best possible way. Martian Manhunter #1. You buy this physical, don't buy digital, because if you buy it digitally, you miss a really good visual effect on the last 2 pages. It's trippy as fuck. It's cool as fuck. It's got gorgeous artwork by Javier Rodriguez. Smoke is an element. So in this one, the Martian is the detective. He's called Martian because he's odd. He's weird. People call him the Martian. The alien is more like this 4th dimensional alien who has basically invaded his brain. So he's not physically come down. He's invade. It's kind of like They Live, or or like Invasion of the Body Snatchers kind of thing, where it's like this parasitical hope. He's kind of like just taken over his brain, and this is why he's seeing things in this really weird psychedelic way. It's what did you call that thing where if you hear music you can see colors and stuff? It's like that photosynthesis or something like that. But, oh, it was brilliant, really good, really strong comic. Really enjoyed it. You need to pick this up. It's one of the strongest issues of the year. Yep, 9.5 out of 10. Really good. And then the last Absolute comic that came out was Absolute Green Lantern by Al Ewing, John D. Lindsay. So this is meant to be cosmic horror kind of take on Green Lantern. It's not. I don't understand how people praise Al Ewing. I've read quite a chunk of Immortal Hulk. It was okay. It wasn't groundbreaking. I enjoyed Bruce Jones's version much better. Controversial take, I know. I do think he's overhyped, and I think he believes the hype at times. This, there's good elements in it, and then it falls. Then there's flat moments, really flat moments, and the artwork. It's just off. It's the weakest arts of a DC comic I've come across in a long time. It's just doesn't feel filled in. It feels like not even a Boom comic, but it just doesn't feel complete. There's some pages where it's okay, but it's not. When you compare it to the other Absolute comics, I don't know. It's meant to be like horrific, but it's summery. It's very bright and breezy, the artwork. Even the violence episodes like that, they lose their impact because it gets squished, but it's like really, really colourful colours. And that's absurd. That's fine, but I don't know the arts. I just really do not like this art at all. So yeah, so Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan are in here, but they're not Green Lantern. This person becomes Green Lantern. She shows up there. It's very Hal Jordan heavy, the chunk of the story. It feels like a wasted opportunity. And I hate to say it because I love the Absolute Universe. This is where I stop with Absolute Green Lantern. It's $4.99 and I've got to be blown away. And I would give this a 5 out of 10. So that's the first time I've given a negative review to an Absolute comic, but it's not good. Not for me anyway. I'm sure people enjoy it, but it just didn't float my boat. So that's the end of my DC review. I will next do a video focusing on what I got from Image these past few weeks. So I shall download this and then do a new one. Bye.